Finally, the interior on the 2026 or new gen Toyota RAV4 has dramatically improved from what it previously was from the 2019 to the 2025 Toyota RAV4, RAV4 hybrid, plug-in hybrid, etc. I'm going to review these images we have, and really so far we have about 3 images. Guys, remember May 20th is the actual official launch where Toyota will be revealing pretty much everything, aside from pricing, probably, on the new gen Toyota RAV4. But make sure you stay tuned to the channel because so far my predictions were pretty accurate about what the new gen RAV would have and what it would be like and what it would come with in terms of the overall design, interior, exterior. I said previously on many of my other videos that the interior will get a major overhaul because, well, the consensus is that the interior on the current generation Toyota RAV4 was a little bit more on the simple side, but I've never seen such a squared off interior and sharp edged lined interior on any Toyota really ever. All right, yeah, so I've got my laptop here. I'm going to review, like I said, really these 3 images, but we've got a lot to talk about. Guys, remember, the interior on your Toyota vehicle or any vehicle you drive is really important because, yeah, the exterior has to look nice and it's got to appeal to you and your style, but the interior is where you're going to spend all your time when you're owning this new vehicle or this new gen Toyota RAV4. And I see a lot of new design elements, characteristics, a lot of new technology that's never really been had on the Toyota RAV4 ever. So again, make sure you stay tuned to the channel. May 20th is going to be the official full release. Let's crack down these 3 images and talk about what's new on the interior of this 26 Toyota RAV4. All right, starting with this picture here that we see, looks like a parent, father, mother, whatever it is opening the passenger door. There's a kid there. There's a cup of coffee there. And you've got what looks like to be a very light gray Softex seat. This kind of looks very similar to the interior that we used to have on the 2021 to 2024, I believe, Toyota Sienna. It was called Moonstone, if I'm not mistaken, and it was kind of like a very light gray two-tone Softex interior. Can't tell if it's perforated or not. If it's perforated, then it's probably heated and ventilated. Keep that in mind. But check out this squared off center console armrest for the front driver and passenger with this silver accent just north of that. And you see here how everything kind of just flows down into the multi-terrain select. Most likely you'll have a multi-terrain select here. Now, what is this? This is something you're all going to have to get used to if you're owning the new gen RAV4, because this is most likely your gearbox or your drive mode select or gear select in terms of, reverse, neutral, drive, park, etc. Very similar to what we've been seeing on late model Toyota vehicles, for example, the Crown Signia or the Crown lineup in general. This button here is probably pertaining to your, I'm going to say electronic parking brake. You've got 2 cup holders here just beside this gearbox. Just north of that, this is probably your drive modes or your multi-terrain select. For example, you've got your snow, your traction button, your sport, your eco, all that stuff is probably there. And then just north of that, you've got your probably temperature control knobs, I'm going to guess. What do you think about this image, guys? Am I missing anything? What do you think about this all new gearbox design, which I kind of anticipated we were going to get something like this on the new gen RAV4. Let's take a look at this other image here. This one we've got lots to talk about. All right, everyone. So this image here shows an open shot through the driver window into the interior. Now, let's start off with the steering wheel. Steering wheel has some perforation to it. It's probably leather wrapped and heated. This is probably an advanced model. For example, an XSE Tech, a limited, a platinum model. Let's see how Toyota breaks down the grades. Why do I say that? Well, look at the size of the screens here. Actually, you know what? I'm ahead of myself. Let's go back to the steering wheel. So steering wheel is very new in the Toyota world. And by the way, guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel, the Toyota World YouTube channel, for constant updates and cool videos like this. And if you want to know more about the hybrid technology, I'm gonna assume and anticipate that this new Gen RAV is going to come in hybrid only powertrain system. Although yesterday Toyota didn't really tell us anything about that. But if you want to know more about the hybrid technology, how to care for it, what to expect, you can get the ebook that I'm going to leave in the description below. But let's continue on with this steering wheel. Lots of control functions on the left and right. It looks like Toyota picked up a similar design from the Toyota Land Cruiser. That's kind of where I recognize this steering wheel. You can see right around the Toyota emblem. It's very tapered and squared off. Look at that, guys, right on top of the steering column. That is a driver monitor camera. So most likely we have Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. Now, one more thing to talk about. I mentioned this a little bit earlier and then I kind of retracted back. Look at the size of all those screens. That looks like at least a 10-inch multi-information display system. So that's the screen right behind your steering wheel where you can customize a lot of your, driving modes and your, safety equipment and vehicle programming settings, etc. This is probably some type of adventure or trail model, I'm going to guess, because look at the wording and the clue that Toyota left on that multi-information display system. Life is an adventure. Guys, this is some exciting stuff, man, especially if you're in the market and you're holding off for the new Gen RAV because it's all new and, it's the best selling compact all-wheel drive SUV in the world, I'm pretty sure. So probably a 10-inch multi-information display system. Maybe that's a 12.3-inch, but I don't think so. Over to the multimedia system. Obviously, it's got the latest multimedia with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but something does look different about it. Okay, so first of all, you can see at the lower part of the screen here, you've got your readings for your temperature control, looks like your heated seat control. Maybe there's some new software coming to us for the new Gen RAV4 because the layout and the breakdown of that screen is not too familiar to me. One more piece of technology that we've got that we've never really had on the RAV4 2025 or current gen, unless I believe you went with the RAV4 plug-in hybrid XSE Tech, and that's heads-up display. That's right, this large cavity just before the windshield is actually heads-up display, guys. So again, this is probably a loaded trim and model. And you see all the sharp edges and lines, how everything's kind of squared off. I'll show you a bit more about that in the next photo that we'll review. It's very new. This is, like I said, guys, the Camry 2024 to 2025 got a nice improvement on the exterior, but a massive overhaul on the interior. And again, that was one of the, kickers about the Camry previously, is that everyone said the interior was very simple and a little bit on the plain side. But yeah, this is definitely no longer the case for the 26 Toyota RAV4 or the RAV4 in general. This looks like probably the most exciting, most adventurous interior that I've seen on a Toyota vehicle. But now, let's take a look at this other photo, the last photo that we have here from Toyota. And speaking of adventure, it looks like Toyota is really pushing the adventure fact on the new gen RAV, because you've got here what looks like to be skiing goggles and equipment. You've got snow on the interior. So take a look, as I mentioned previously, a lot of squared off and linear edges and lines here, like this venting for the heating and air conditioning. It's something very new to the Toyota lineup. You've got over to the left your multimedia system. You've got a new patterned trim accent throughout the entire dash from side to side. I'd imagine that trim follows through on the door panels for the most part, but I couldn't really tell in that first photo we reviewed where the passenger front door was open. But let's take a look and zoom in a little bit here on this image. So beside the skiing equipment here, just to the left, you've got what looks like to be ports for USB or charging, which is really convenient for both driver and passenger. You've got a wireless phone charger just to the left of that. It's probably the latest and greatest version of a wireless phone charger. And then just below those USB ports, you have a couple of different buttons. Now, I'm zooming in as much as I can, and knowing the Toyota product the way I know it, I think I know what these buttons are. So the first button there looks like it's for a multi-terrain view monitor or 360-degree camera. The second button there right in the middle looks like it's for your, I want to say heated steering wheel, but I could be wrong on that. And then the last button to the bottom looks like it's your traction control on-off function. Now, do we have anything else to review in this image? Not much that I can think of, but guys, a lot of refreshments, a lot of refinements. I want to know two things from you. Number one, what do you think about the new interior on the new Gen RAV4? And what do you think about the exterior? As I mentioned in my previous video from yesterday, it looks like Best Car Magazine's rendering was actually a bit not accurate in terms of what we all thought and what I thought the new Gen RAV4 would look like and be like. It would look, a little bit similar to the Crown Signia front fascia, but it looks like it went with a new design on its own and has a bit more of this squared off, sharper line edges in terms of the front fascia and front bumper assembly for the 26 Toyota RAV4. What do you think about the interior? Are you happy with that? Are you happy with the exterior? Number two, what are you thinking of doing? Let me know in the comments below. Are you going to change and upgrade your 2017 or 2022 Toyota RAV4 to this new Gen RAV4? Because like I said, it's very updated. Powertrain to be determined. Toyota didn't mention much about that yesterday. They didn't mention anything about that, but May 20th they will. Probably Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 or higher. Definitely the latest multimedia and technology in that screen that Toyota is showing us. Probably something that we haven't even seen before on any Toyota model, but time will tell. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this review and breakdown, thorough breakdown, I think, on the new Gen RAV4. We'll find out more. Lots of videos coming to you next week. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And like I said, remember the interior is just as important, if not more important, than the exterior on your new vehicle. We'll catch you on the next video. Take care.